find the biggest news in the game industry from the day before or the morning of and really break it down.
Yes. Here every morning, Brandon Pham, Larry Charles, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Pacific time. Specifically at 10 a.m.
Family Guy joke.
Twitch.tv/blue_champs. You can watch us after the fact and do commentary there as well on our youtube.com/bluechamps.
Yeah.
If you want to support us directly, you can support us on our patreon.com/bluechamps. Any dollar there helps making this particular show an audio podcast form to take us to your commute and bathrooms.
Yeah.
And
we'll help you through those struggles.
Yes. And then if you want to donate directly, where you don't want to give Twitch any of their money, you can do that as well. There's a button down there. Just give us your dollars. If you want to go through Twitch Prime because you want to launder your money somehow.
Yeah, it's easier.
You can subscribe that way as well.
You get $5 of membership just sitting there. If you got nothing to do with it or no other streamer to give it to, we'd be more than happy to turn it into Subway sandwiches.
Exactly. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting us so far. So today's topic is a little bit...
this one's going to be touchy and polarizing.
Very touchy and polarizing. We're going to be as sensitive as possible.
Yeah.
Because someone's a criminal. But we'll decide who. All right. So this is it's Catfish streamers.
Catfish streamers.
It is no surprise that streaming is a thing. It's a mainstay. It's a way for a lot of people to make money. Yeah. Especially with the blowout of Fortnite. Yeah. A lot of millionaires have been made through that game alone. And now there's a huge influx of streamers, but as well as audience that is kind of using it as a way to get through their pastimes, right? It's a way to kill time. So, of course, that invites, especially with technology, you know, if you have a Snapchat, if you have any Instagram filters, you know the scariness of the deep fakes now. Being able to really change your appearance in real time it's a scary future that we're heading into. And so, this particular story, you want to give some background?
Sure. So, and I've actually seen this kind of thing happen a couple times. You have a streamer who gets some software that will allow themselves to basically Snapchat filter in live stream or create an avatar that is facially driven by a camera recording their regular face. So I, Larry Charles, can make myself look like, why would I want to?
Yeah.
I can make myself look like any other person, right? Let's say, okay, Denzel Washington, in the African-American community, he's seen as somebody who's very attractive for a male. So I could generate an avatar that makes me look like Denzel, and then I'm going to run a stream, and I'm manipulating all these people into thinking that this is actually me. And then this is who they're following. They start to build this relationship with this persona. They start to have these fantasies or just the idea that this is the person that they're supporting and watching and enjoying. Until a slight glitch happens and they realize that, you know, the hot anime-inspired avatar with the cute voice is actually being run by a dude eating ramen at his desk.
Oh, man.
So all those faps, all those times that, you know, you were thinking of, like, how cool this streamer female was and how awesome or whatever fantasies or whatever dark, twisted thoughts. And I'm not going to go immediately to that, but the reason why I bring it up and say that is because of what happened to this lady once she was found out, right? So hold what I'm saying right now, but I believe there's a lot of fantasizing that happens where these people are like, oh, man, yeah, I really like this streamer. And it's usually not because they're great at the game. Yeah. It's because there's some other sort of attraction that they have.
It might be, let's be fair. Let's just say it's a combination of both, right? Obviously, you might get, the buy-in might be a certain aspect, right? The physical attractiveness. The right, and then you stay mainly for the content. There has to be some substance there.
There's a hook and bait.
Yeah, there's a hook and bait there for sure. Obviously, people are there looking at this for 8 hours. I mean, how long? Yeah. How long can you really fap, right? At a certain point, you gotta stay for the content. I don't know. Too many people that stay around porn sites that long, right? You know what I mean? So obviously, she has some skill set there that people enjoy watching.
She was. In all fairness, she was generating all the content, right? Like she was, if you were watching doing for hours, it was being run by her. So whatever she was able to produce, it was legitimately her content.
Yes.
Just wasn't legitimately her face.
Right. So this is something that we feel very relative, all right? Obviously, you don't know if this is our faces or not, right? But
prove it's not a filter.
But it's a future that we are stepping into.
Yeah.
That buyers beware, right? It is very real. Like, you look at those deep fakes, you can only think about if these are people in their living rooms doing this. Man, at some point.
What's scary is,
if not already,
a deep fake plus just even one little regular Snapchat filter, and you can't tell the difference between a person and a Snapchat
filter.
Tell. It's
a scary, and it's getting more and more online, more and more digital.
Yeah.
I mean, the personality now, most people are more represented on the internet than in person, right? What level of interaction that we're losing, of course, with the Facebook era of things. People are getting out of touch.
Yeah.
And then that onslaught of haters and trolls, it's a regular thing now, and it's tearing people down. And so, the more detached we are from person-to-person interaction, it invites this type of danger. So let's break this article down and give it a fair chance to what this lady's doing.
Look at the left-right comparison. Oh man!
All right, so our face is actually covering this right now. So let me go ahead and change our graphic a bit. Put it in
1 second.
Nice area.
Fix your camera.
All right. So as Larry is fixing my camera, let's talk about this a bit. So I am switching this up, and so as you can see, right, why people were enjoying the stream, and then why people
be careful with your words.
Why people got really upset.
Just left was the what do you call it? The advertisement photos.
Yeah.
And right was what you got. Left is the Big Mac that they show you in the commercial. Right is the Big Mac that you got when they gave you your food, basically.
Yeah. Very very deceiving, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it's deception. It's deception.
It's borderline criminal.
I've been bamboozled.
Yeah. I mean, catfishing
is a thing, man.
Is a thing, right? People with online profiles have a picture, and they stretches as long as they possibly can until they meet up. And then it doesn't match, right?
Yeah.
And you can call it vain, but I think at the core of it, I have to say you can't start a relationship like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a dishonest relationship from the start.
There is an inevitable crash and fall that will happen, regardless of whatever else you bring to the table. Like, it's a huge lie. It's a huge deceit.
Yeah. So I will play devil's advocate, saying that looks shouldn't matter, Larry.
Well, they shouldn't. I would say the legitimacy of streaming video games is that, honestly, any person should. The ideal society for me would be anybody who likes streaming Fortnite should be able to stream Fortnite in a comfortable, safe environment, interact with people.
That's clear.
And it not be about anything other than the games.
Yeah.
I feel like there's two people to blame. I would say TD streamers, and then also just like the stream community themselves that like are interested in hypersexualized streaming content. I think that those two things combined kind of create situations where you might have a situation like this where this female will say, well, I don't feel like I'll be accepted based on attractiveness. And I'm assuming here, so don't get me wrong, I don't know very much about this woman.
Yeah.
I'm just basing what I'm saying now on the fact that she did do like this filter changing of her face and of her presentation to be this person who she thought the community would receive better than receiving herself, right? Obviously, she looks at the marketplace and says, I believe this is what I need to do. You know what I mean? In order to be successful. And that breaks my heart that that's what she feels like she has to do or had to do in order to be popular. Like, I wonder how long she streamed as herself before she came up with this and then saw 10, 20, 30x, viewers.
That's very true. Let's take a look at this. Let's break this down, okay? Kwai Bao, how you pronounce that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kwai Bilao Ding Sha, also known as Your Highness. All right, let's just stop at that. I'm going to butcher the Chinese. Was racking up followers and donations on Douyu, a Chinese live streaming platform. The photo she uploaded and the short clips she posted showed a young woman leading her growing number of fans to think this was her. And it was not. Okay. Here are some of the photos. Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. Oh man.
I'm guessing you're laughing because of the shock. The shock was.
It's fraudulent. It's a little fraudulent.
Right.
Maybe it's performance art. Maybe it's
like it's
modern performance art.
This is I see, all right? I see how the face filter, but this is completely a different body type.
Yeah.
This is a whole different person.
Yeah.
It's not a face swap. It's a person swap.
Yeah.
So you can see how this progressed to something.
Where was she getting this content from? Like, was she taking other people's?
I think the filters in certain angles.
There's like skinny finger filters and all that stuff.
Oh man, if you can literally change your face to another human being, you can probably like.
I'm not judging her weight or anything like
yourself
that, but I'm just simply saying that like that girl holding that phone, right? Like the bone structure that I see there versus the bone structure that I see top right. Well,
you didn't see her bones in here. Maybe she had very small.
I can look at her neck and shoulders and face.
You don't know that.
I can see it right there.
So, okay, this is one of her face filter. As noted by Asian One, when she streamed, she would not show her face, so she would just show her chest area. Oh. That's a good trick. Your Highness had a following of 130,000 people.
Damn.
Man, but some of them want to know more about the streamer.
Of course they did. They want to know where she is, and so can they?
The paper reports that she said she would
all kind of
meet her fans in real life for 100,000 won, $14,000. Late last week, during a live stream with the vlogger named Quingy on the left, her face was covered with a cartoon image.
Okay, I'm sorry. We got to stop here. Catfish 101. If literally the person is doing every and anything that they can to cover up their face when they're doing a live broadcast.
Yeah.
But all the curated media is like when you actually see the face. Head for the hills, man. You're getting
the left person
that's actually
is the
another
reporter.
Streamer. Yeah, that's another streamer.
Basically, interviewing her.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, man.
It's game over for me.
It's like why would you do that? Like just the face, There's got to be suspicions.
I'll say this
at that stage, right?
She should have just played it like she does on the stream, where she doesn't show the face thing and just shows the shoulders down like she always does, and just play that innocence. Like Sia, how she always wears her wigs to cover her face or whatever, but you know that's Sia under the wig. You know that it's Sia when she's turning around singing the song. There is no like, you know what I mean? Just like if she really wanted to play up the shyness, then she should have just done chin down for everything.
All right, let's read on. Here's the trick, right? This is the reason why she covered her face. According to the news, the 58-year-old, oh my God, this grandma is raking it in.
Oh.
I can't show my face until I receive gifts of 100,000 won. After all, I'm a good-looking host. Her fans started coughing up donations. Very clever. Very clever. During the joint stream, the graphic covering her face vanished. Producer fire, dude.
Well, no, it's...
What streaming software was she using that
here's the
malfunctioned?
thing. I would imagine that it was the girl on the right who was actually running and hosting the stream. It had to be, because that would mean that if it wasn't, then the girl on the left already knew the secret was out. You know what I mean? Like there's no way to preserve innocence.
Oh yeah, like on her.
So it had to have been her own fault.
Yeah, there was no uncovering.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is on her own software for sure.
So she made a mistake, or her software glitched, or whatever happened, but it was on her end and not the reporter's end.
Yeah. During the joint stream, the graphic covering her face vanished. The magician seemed to be unsure what was going on, with the conversation awkwardly continuing. How can you continue after that point as a reporter?
And then she got blown up.
Her Highness didn't realize the glitch happened until our fans started bolting from the stream. The incident made the TV news in China. Some fans called this fraud. Well, it is. Yeah. But others pointed out that it's not uncommon for live streamers to enhance their looks. Come on, this is not a filter. This is a face swap. Whether that's makeup or advanced filters. Then there were some who said that this is what people who donate to streamers deserve. No.
Look at that graphic. It's so good.
It's so good.
Oh, my God. I feel so bad.
Your Highness ended up getting an outpouring of support after the incident. All right, there's some redeeming quality to this. Racking up well over 500,000 followers. So her subscribers jumped up
There you go.
300,000.
That's fantastic. So she
and becoming the most searched streamer on You. Fans now call her Granny. She's back to streaming and says she's becoming a rapper. Talk about hustle.
Bro, she hit that situation with the lateral and the slingshot.
Yeah.
She avoided the death blow and used it to propel herself forward, and she's got a new goal, a new plan. More power to her. Like, I don't want to see somebody not do well or be successful.
Yeah.
I just, where my heart lies is I wish it was okay to just be yourself. It is okay to be yourself. Sure, you might get toxicity from a community, or you might not get the support that you think other people's are getting because they're doing like maybe hypersexualized type of content.
Yeah.
And so I understand there's a dilemma there where people say, well, I want 3 million followers too, but I'm not willing to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
That's just a personal choice you're either going to have to make or not make.
Yeah.
But I believe that like anybody can get on Twitch and just start streaming their favorite games or doing whatever. And whatever audience you get with what you're comfortable with, I think is a fair, that's just how the Twitch market works, you know?
I think she did it right. She got ahead of the pack with a lie, and she lied to win, dude. She
faked it till she made it.
Yeah, she tripled her numbers, and now people are coming at her with outpouring support.
Yeah,
this is a villain become Cinderella type of story. So it's hard to justify saying that don't do this at home, guys or gals.
She hit him with that Naruto sexy clone.
But this is an oncoming. Like, I'm so scared, man. I'm so scared of this technology that's happening right now.
Lucky for you, you're married, so
yeah. Well, I'm not scared on my behalf. I'm scared at the fact that
scared for your kids.
Not just for this is just a playful fraud, right?
Yeah.
People who they want to use it for a political statement or like really making out people as an asshole.
Yeah.
And then
like, here's video footage of
and then telling moms to go after that.
Yeah.
With video evidence.
Yeah.
It's like, what is evidence now?
You're
if
right.
Video evidence doesn't work.
I'll say this, man. If somebody made a deep fake video of me like saying like F this and F that and kill all these types of people and F this and F that, because there's a lot of footage of us talking, so there's enough that people could do a voice sample, enough that people could do gesture sample and make a deep fake, and then like
challenge you.
but then I'm supposed to be responsible for, and then and you tell people like, no, I didn't do it, but the audio and the video is clear enough that like
you got to work against
it'll reach 10 million views before I even get out of the door to like try to make my first apology for something I didn't do.
Yeah, your apology won't be as viral either. So,
cancel culture is faster than investigative verification culture.
Yeah,
cancel culture is immediate. People love to tear people down these days.
Yeah, man, it's like an automatic response now for people. If you have a difference of opinion of some sort, right? You say that publicly. Yeah. People immediately say, "Well, you're canceled," like as a matter of factly now, not as a threat. It's like if you have any hopes of business ventures or whatever, say that goodbye, dude. You're done. Nobody wants to touch you now.
Yeah,
it's scary, dude. Like, what evidence can you rely on now? Where video evidence used to be the ultimate proof.
Proof.
Yeah, but now that can be faked.
Well, I guess that's both good and bad depending on where you sit. Because if you're guilty as shit and they have video, man, look at this deep fake. You think that's me stealing all that money from the bank?
Kids on YouTube are doing this.
Yeah,
Come on,
I got
guys.
a Hummer now with rims and with all this shit. Yeah, but that was earned legitimately. That's not me. That's a deep fake.
Deep fake.
Prove that it isn't. Prove that that's not a deep fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Strike the evidence from the record. We cannot prove.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this culture, I feel, even the gaming community can be toxic, but like playful toxic, right? We're
the gaming community can be toxic.
It can be toxic, yeah. But like,
playful.
But like violently, do you think a lot of those threats actually turn into violence? Man, it's mostly tearing down people's reputation online, right?
Bro, Dr. Disrespect's house got shot at.
Oh yeah,
there was the dude who like shot up a Madden tournament. There's all sorts of fights that happen just stem from anger, displacement in gaming. It happens all the time.
Okay.
So I will say this, like, cancel culture is one thing, but I definitely know that like I don't put it beside anybody to have a public face right now in our era to make a standpoint that's going to hurt someone's feelings enough that person is going to want to retaliate unnecessarily. Mm-hmm. Or I don't think unnecessarily is the word that I want. I don't want to say unwarranted either, but basically the person like overreacting to what should actually happen, right? Like, we are no longer the nation where we can read a headline and be like, I disagree. Mm-hmm. We're now the nation, or just the world, where when you disagree, apparently everything about that person needs to die. Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, if you read the comments on anybody, like, hey, here's me doing a drawing. F you and your drawing, you little shitty 8-year-old. You suck. You're only like, oh man, comments, man, so depressing.
Yeah, man. It's good,
especially when you fake your whole audience and you see them start bull. I wonder what that moment must have been like to like see tens of thousands of people in mass exodus, seeing what you look like and then bolting your stream. That's gotta like, I'm gonna say this. That's gotta be a shitty feeling to like. The jig is up.
I just want to shout out to Nadafal. I remember Nadafal when he was on the game show.
Oh, that's so messed up.
It's not that messed up. So let's talk about it, right? So it was like a dating show in Thailand.
Well,
right?
We went to college with a buddy of ours named Nadapol, and we'll just leave it at that. And he went to his home country and was on like a dating show where there's like 100 girls in a room and they all have a buzzer. And then you walk out and like basically what happens is the girls voluntarily like remove themselves from contention.
Yeah, but everyone volunteered in first.
Well, no. They all start like they all start. And basically, the more you mess up, the more people are like, "Oh, I don't want to date you." I see. And basically, like he walks in, he does a little dance, and he's all smooth. And like maybe one girl was like, "No, not for me." Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, what's your name?" I was like, "Oh, Nadapol. Where are you from? What do you do?" He was like, "I'm a video game designer." Bam, 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 bam.
That's the buzz heard around the world for
like
all game developers.
65 to 70%.
I was like, come on, it's not that bad, guys.
Man, they like
we're in a
it was like the wave going around the stadium, watching the ring of girls who had just volunteered. Like, oh no, thanks. I was like, God damn.
But that's like we make fun. Yeah. Behind the motivation for catfishing, right? Yeah. But that's exactly the reason why. Of course, it comes to how confident you are as a person, right? It starts from there. But what stems off of that is like, I want people to accept me, right? Yeah. And so if you can do certain things and hide certain aspects of you don't like, most people would fold into that. Yeah. Right? If Nadapol at that point could have said he was a doctor until after the show, he would have. But he didn't. He was an honest, living game developer in Thailand. Yeah. Right? There was no reason to get buzzed out like that. We should link that. We're gonna link that YouTube page.
Man, that was. He's such a nice guy.
He's really nice. Talent. And he was singing. He came out singing, and girls were feeling it, right? Yeah. Dancing with it. But as soon as it was like during his intro. Oh, that was the thing. Yeah, it was like everyone had an introduction video, and he goes through and he's there like hanging out with his dog, and he saved that last bit at the end, saying that I'm a full-time game developer. I enjoy making games. Blah, 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 blah. And then the cameraman was like super dick. Got on his face, and you just see his whole confidence just fall apart. But there was a decent enough women, and that's exactly what you want. There was still some left. That's exactly what you want. You need to know who is in it. Yeah, all the way.
I'll say in Kwai Baolu's, I'm sorry.
Quing Blau. Kwai Blau.
In Granny's or Your Highness's case, to see that like she had an overwhelming amount of support for people who showed up, right? Like that makes me feel great because it's
that is better.
Hopefully you now see that like you could have reached this level of validation. Well, you potentially could have had all these same supporters had you not done the catfishing and just been yourself. I don't know if she would have had the notoriety or the marketing hook to find all those people that fast. But what I'm saying is the people that support her for being her exist. Apparently 500,000 of them do. And so that's just a shout out to everybody out there who like is trying to Snapchat, Instagram their filter through their online persona. Mm-hmm. I mean,
it's that type of war right now.
It breaks my heart, man. I'm sorry. Like, this is another one of those things that makes me sad. You know what I mean? Like it's
an online profile, and everybody want to look their best. People who are posting anything are showing their best bits, right? That's what people are constantly exposed to. Friends, neighbors, everything, right? They're seeing only the best parts of your life, and that's what you're competing against all the time.
I make content all the time. My hair will be scrubby. Like, I always look how I look or whatever, but like 99% of my content is just authentic. Like, that's Larry. I might have done like a color adjustment to black and white, or like picking the like color filter, but the actual layout or distribution of my physical features, I don't change shit, man. I just, hey, look, babe, look, this is me. Hey, you want this or no? Yeah. I'm cool. I'm going to find my 500,000 followers.
I have to say,
like regular me.
Yeah, Larry is in a privileged position. He's a tall, handsome black man.
Well, thank you, but no, I'm not.
But you know, you like.
Nah, man, you should.
All right,
let
me switch to this.
Some of the Instagram treachery that like I see, man. It's like, come on.
All right, let's be honest. All right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this image right now. We don't have the same issues that we have to go that far, right? And we're not even promoting people to go that far. We're saying that in her case, it worked in her favor. She was able to correct course and like quadrupled her following. Yeah. And I even say like maybe that's her shtick, you know? Keep the filters on and off.
I would keep faking it.
Like, keep faking it, like, and then plan, and then plan accidental reveal at the end of it. Oopsie, you know, have a little tagline at the end before she signs off, and that'll be her thing, the granny catfisher. Like, who got fooled at the end of the stream? Raise your hand. Oh, you got me! Oh my god, I just got me. That could be her whole thing. Like, if she has the business tactfulness to actually think like that, which I feel she does. Obviously, she's able to bounce back.
I think,
and not really be butthurt about it.
I will say this: who knows what her personality is like? I mean,
it has to be pretty good.
Attractiveness is very relative, right? Like, if you consider yourself to be attractive or not attractive, that's usually you based on, I'm assuming, some sort of generalized sample size of things that are normally considered attractive, and you may feel like you have a high abundance of those things, so you might consider yourself attractive. But man, if you put individual with individual, someone could look at the most beautiful woman and be like, oh my god, hell no, I would not my type. And then
it's everything
like
else.
Everybody, exactly, like it's on a person to person basis. Attractiveness is just beauty, and just beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I genuinely believe that. I will look at somebody and be like, oh, not my type. People call me crazy. And then I look at someone else who would say, actually, I'm very attracted to this person. And then people call me crazy.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? You never know. But she could have had a kick-ass personality. I don't even think that it's that she's unattractive. I think that it's just she's not what she represented.
Yeah. Like, there's a foolery at the beginning.
And that's what bothers me. Is like, I think makeup in general, and here's where I'm going to alienate myself from.
All right, I'm going to let you take the stage. So, all right, Larry can.
Get yourself out of the camera.
Don't get me associated with
nobody comes looking for you. It's a slippery slope, I'll say, right? Like, I've seen people who do like
artists
who use makeup as a highlighter, right? Yeah. To like, I'm just going to put on X and Y to like present myself better. And then I've seen people who become a totally different person. Like, they like contour cheeks and like contour nose. And then I'm talking about like, I've seen makeup done so well to such an extreme where I'm just like, who are you? Because I saw who went in the room and I saw who came out. I'm looking for my friend. She's about your height and about your shape. You know,
wow.
Like, no, man, come on.
That big of a difference.
Bro, I'm not lying to anybody by saying
like this. Real face filters.
Bro, it's...
In live face filters.
You know I'm not lying.
No,
and like,
I agree.
There's people who go to, and there's even
just YouTube it
viral videos of like one makeup artist becoming 19 different people, legitimate different looks.
Criminal.
Man, please, it is for real out here in these streets.
That and
go swimming.
There's a reason why men have trust issues.
Take them underwater. Yeah, man, it's.
Turn up the heater.
I'm laughing, but I'm also serious. It's just that, like...
But that's what it's becoming. The technology is mostly everybody's connected online. Yeah. It's becoming our interactions are predominantly online. Yeah. The way we enjoy entertainment, the way we interact with people, the way we stay in contact with our close friends. Yeah. Catfishing is the most dangerous thing that's going on right now, especially with the deepfakes. Like... Yes, we're talking within the gaming landscape, but I see like incredible terrorist-like behavior using this technology.
It can be deep fake technology can be weaponized, and it will be weaponized. Like that is an inevitability about the future that's going to happen. What I'm worried about is how we'll see how well we can defend against it. But I have a feeling like many people on top of mountain are in for a real shitty fall because of somebody being an aggressor, someone getting butthurt or their feelings hurt, and then wanting to make sure that they burn that person back, right? Like, you know, the bodybuilder, like Larry Wheels?
Yeah.
We talk about him every now and then.
Yeah.
He's kind of in some shit right now and I haven't done like all the research, but
with his ex-girlfriend?
All the allegations against him, and really it was like, hey, you and I didn't work out, and I'm with somebody new, and you're upset about that.
Yeah, what was she trying to do? Saying that he abused her and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm. And, like, the police showed up, and, like, instead of arresting him on the spot, which
is
very interesting, but
yeah.
I guess I understand it, right? Like, because I don't want to say double standard and, like, create all that kind of nonsense. But I believe if it's a domestic dispute or domestic violence, the man is just automatically arrested,
right?
And then they sort
things out, yeah, to separate the two. Yeah,
they did not arrest him,
yeah,
because as she's there saying this,
all these things,
6'6", 270-pound,
yeah,
mountain dude beat the crap out of me.
Yeah,
and they're looking
no
at her,
bruises, no lacerations.
Like, there was not even a single piece of stressful evidence that verified her claims.
Yeah,
and I believe that they didn't even believe her, and so they didn't arrest him.
Yeah.
And so
it's a scary time, but that's like a physical being able to verify type of situation on an online profile.
So that worked for him, but like look at all those scenarios where like how quick and easy it is where people will weaponize something that will destroy you carelessly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wasn't in a consensual sexual relationship with this young football player. I was being raped.
Yeah.
That guy goes to jail. That guy misses the NFL.
Yeah.
Yada yada. Find out 10 years later on a Facebook post like, oh,
sorry,
I just lied. Sorry about that. I've been living my best life in the meantime. How are you?
That's crazy that there was no repercussions. Like, would there be a case if he pursued?
I mean, I would have sued the shit out of that girl. I would have sued the shit out of the justice system in the state for convicting me. And then, because if they get a conviction based on something not being true, right? Like they're like, okay, so
it's on Facebook. There's evidence.
We reasonably believe that you did the rape, and I was like, but I didn't. It wasn't rape. It was a consensual relation. I guess that's why they're able to get a conviction, because it being a consensual relationship shows evidence of like what you did have sex with each other. There will probably be things that are reflective in both cases, right?
Yeah.
That happened. So therefore, like I probably should have researched that more before bringing it up as a point, but I do know that it happened.
Yeah.
So that's like the scariest thing for me is that I'm going to be one day minding my own business.
Yeah.
Somebody mad that I said something. I said anything. And you can say anything these days, and you're going to get people mad at you and they want to see you fall. You can say Mordau should have brown people in it. And that's it for you. Canceled. Anyway.
I'm safe. You got shit on me. What are you going to do? You're going to tell me that I can't talk in a mic anymore?
I'm just
actually there has been cases like that. What was it, Alex Jones? Got completely banned from all the platforms. Basically, no way to promote himself.
That's
Is it kind of crazy?
It's rough, man. It's rough. Getting back to catfishing and stuff, though, like I guess where my worries are in this thing is like, and just in general, like streaming. I don't have a problem with anybody streaming the way that they want to stream, and whatever audience they build is the audience they build, so long as they know going into it that what they put out and what they get, there's a relationship. You know what I mean? So like when I consider someone a TD streamer, that's a dad joke way of saying they're a streamer who's like usually very curvy or voluptuous and is like presenting everything. In all its glory. Yeah. Racking up hundreds of thousands of followers and yada yada, who obviously are there to take in the sights, right? Enjoy the game content, but also be tantalized at the same time. Yeah. And then sometimes you'll see that they'll get super fans who want to know where they live or who want to like force themselves into that person's life, and like I don't think that should happen. But I also understand that like that happens in higher frequencies in some cases more so than others. Yeah. And I would just warn people like, hey, if you're going to go out and do whatever you want to do, you're completely fine. Do whatever you want to do, but just know that like bad shit happens, and I hope it doesn't. Because this isn't me saying you dress this way, you deserve it. It's more like me saying like, be an adult and know, right? Like know what you're getting into, know what the potential risks are. And if you are comfortable with those risks, then more power to you.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with whatever lifestyle that you're going to live because of a decision that you make, then more power to you. I support you 100,000%.
Yeah, I talk to people about this all the time, where the road rage part, right, comes into play.
Road rage.
Like, as in my wife, right? She walks, and then if there's a car coming at a crosswalk and they're not supposed to, she would continue the walk to prove a point.
No way.
But like I've known people like this. It's like, I'm in the right, right? They will suffer. It's
I'm
like
getting this money.
yeah.
Rich and crippled.
But exactly, right? It's like you're the one that's gonna be suffering. But this is the type of mentality. The mentality is about the same, right? I'm in the right, you're wrong. Therefore, the world should revolve around this simple measure, right? But in the end, avoiding danger is the key goal, right? Not proving a point. There's other ways to prove the point in a safer type of environment.
Yeah. So I agree with the sentiment of I'm going to walk anyway because it's my turn to walk. I understand why that attitude would exist. I'm just also an adult who's like cognizant of the fact that sometimes people aren't looking, they're texting, they're like, I can't tell from down the street that they're actually paying attention. Right? Is my life at risk, and am I willing to risk my life for this point to be proved? And then they're just going to drive away anyway. You know what I mean?
That's the key thing. Are you willing to risk your life for other people's stupidity?
Yeah. So in regards to TD streamers, I say more power to them. They're entrepreneurial and it's ethical. Nobody's really being hurt in a sense. I don't have a problem with any type of streaming. If dudes want to stream and put all their junk right next to the controller and put it on display, more power to them. Do what you need to do to make money these days.
You're probably gonna get banned though. You can't do that. So at least on the Twitch.
As long as it's ethical, you know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with anyone doing things that are legal to make money. Streaming is legal. If you look the way that you look and that helps you in streaming, I don't feel bad if you take advantage of that. Not at all. I just know, and this is the shitty part, is just I know the streaming experience is different streamer to streamer.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that I follow who African Americans who stream, and Lord have mercy, the stories that you may hear from like when we were talking to Tanya and how she goes through such toxicity sometimes when she streams things, which is unfair and it fucking sucks. Yeah. But I also know that like when I hear the story, I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess it's one of those things.
Yeah, people have this anonymity.
Yeah.
When they are behind the internet wall, right? And the worst behavior to get away with things naturally comes out, I feel, with most people. Even if in person, they present themselves in a way that they're not bigoted, right? Suddenly you have this ability to put on a mask and do whatever you want. And so there's a certain attraction to that people kind of fold into all the time. It's terrible, but that's what the internet is. That's exactly what the internet's about. You can put on a mask and do whatever you want. Yeah. And what's that movie, The Purge? I mean, that's the whole attitude right there. Yeah. Like, if everybody is able to commit a crime a day with no repercussions, I think a lot of people will opt in, man. Yeah. I mean, most people will want to be out in the streets and be crazy. And only a small percentage just want to be left alone,
Freedom comes in many ways, shape, and forms. Like, we consider ourselves to be a free society, but we're not. Yeah. I'm not free to just do anything that I want. Maybe I can attempt or do the one thing, but to say that I'm free to do it means that I can do it over and over and over and over and over.
Right.
Like, if I was completely free in all sense, way, shape, or form, and I were to go like murder someone, right? Free means that I didn't do anything wrong and I could do it again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
Doing it once and then getting punished means that it's not a free act.
Yeah.
It means that you did something illegal and you're now being punished for it. Illegal also meaning that there is rule and jurisdiction above you, which then in turn means not free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go out and murder a bunch of people.
Don't go out and murder a bunch of people.
But I needed an extreme case to make my example.
Yeah. And so that pretty much concludes today's episode. Yeah. We assure you that both of us aren't catfish.
Is my real face?
As ugly as it may be, right? This is how we go about it every day at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Let's put the exit music right here.
Catfish streamers, baby. They're the funniest one.
I'm surprised there isn't that much more.
The funniest one. I wish I knew the dude's name, but there was another Asian guy. He was pretending to be like a I don't know what the word is for it, but let's just call it like a Tokyo pop icon, female anime kind of character who was like real sweet and innocent and cute and bubbly and like had all these followers and people who were like trying to.
He was faking to be a girl.
He was faking to be a girl, and like all these people were trying to woo and romance this girl, right? And then the same thing happened where his like filter cut for a second, and it just showed him there, and then he saw that it was his face, and he saw his face, and he made this like fake and like tried to fake it real quick. It was so good. It was so good.
The cringe, dude. The cringe.
Oh, man.
I wonder who's more shocked, the viewers or the streamer? You know what I mean? At that moment, whose heart is beating faster?
The streamer, for sure.
The streamer, okay.
Because the viewer, their investment is just time. The streamer is the actual financial investment, right? Like,
okay.
The streamer is like, oh shit, all my revenue stream is about to collapse because I've been found out. I would imagine the streamer is the one who has the biggest oh shit moment.
It sounds all terrible.
Don't fake. Don't deep fake.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself. Find the best optimal way that you can market yourself properly.
Yeah.
There's a success case for every type of person. I've seen it. I promise you. However you feel like your attractiveness is, don't let that be the only thing of value that you offer the world, and then you will be fine. I promise you. Yeah. I promise you.
Well, in this case, like the highness, have an exit strategy. And ride that wave.
She's
fake,
brilliant.
lie to win. I'm telling you.
I'm a rapper now. So. God, oh man.
Where did that come from? A 50-year-old rapper. I mean, we gotta pull a video if we can find it. I don't know how China exports their videos.
I'm sure it's
on
YouTube.
Right?
I'm sure it's on YouTube. All I know is I'm proud of this woman
because she has to be somewhat pretty entertaining. You don't amass before all that 180,000 people just purely by looks. Like, there's got to be substance there to keep people around.
I'll say looks help because I see a lot.
Looks do help.
I see a lot of people who have 180,000 or more anything, and they don't have a lot of substance.
Well, that concludes our episode for today. Stay tuned, everyone. We are, of course, on twitch.tv/blue_champs. You want to chat with us live? Give your opinions. We want to discuss it with you every morning. Daily, 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can check us out and comment there further after our broadcast. youtube.com/bluechamps. Buy some shirts at merch, bluechamps.com. And any support, donation is highly appreciated. If you want to go through the laundering route with becoming a Twitch Prime subscriber, that's another way to support us. Going to Patreon as well. So stay tuned because Game Dev Unchained that got delayed from yesterday is coming up next with a very interesting host and guest, us and him. So we'll be back streaming in 10 minutes as we get set up and give it a rest.
All right, see you guys. Shout out to all the TD streamers out there. You're doing the Lord's work. I'm just kidding.
Face filter off.